You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 17th, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Board of Public Works and Safety. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good afternoon, Michigan City. Good afternoon, members of the public. Thank you for coming. Today's Monday, June 17th, 2024. I'll call this Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order, and I'll call the roll. Mr. Simmons?
Present.
Ms. Smith?
Present.
Ms. Tisdale?
Present.
Ms. Moore?
Present.
And Ms. Attorney LePage?
Present.
And Mr. York is a present as well. So we do have a quorum. Our first order of business today is approval of minutes from our regular hybrid Zoom meeting for June 3rd, 2024. What is the pleasure of the committee?
Motion to approve as presented.
Support.
I hear a motion and I'll call the roll. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
I was not here, so I'll abstain from that vote. Or better yet, I'll vote aye as well.
You're fine. It's just a
Okay.
ministerial act.
Got it. I'll vote aye as well. Our next order of business is approval to solicit bids. Global Engineering is requesting the approval of the 2024 1 CCMG, which is Community Crossings Matching Grant, bid documents, and to solicit bids. Shim, would you like to come up to the mic? Tell us what's going on.
Sure thing. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sham Khalil, 601 Franklin Street with Global Engineering and Land Surveying. I'll be glad to answer any question. The project actually was approved back in January for the city to apply for a grant, which is a community crossing grant. The community crossing grant is 2 cycles per year. If the city was not successful in the first one, they can try again in July. So luckily the city was successful for the entire amount, which is 1.5 million, approximately 1.5 million. That turned to be a $3 million type of project. The Redevelopment Commission injected some money as well into that. And the project is repaving some of the streets on the list that you received back in January. In addition to that project, there's a Franklin Street will be paved and striped to be 2-way, no backup parking, and no loss of parking as well between 10th and 4th. That's an overview of the project, but it's kind of more in detail, I guess, between the Board of Public Works and the Redevelopment Commission. But I'll be glad to answer any question if you have it.
Any questions of Mr. Khalil from the board? Any questions? I'll open up for public comment.
Oh, yeah, this is Tommy Kolovic from 1316 Ohio Street. So we're talking about the CBG funds. Well, we were promised we were going to get sidewalks put in all along Paz Road and Woodland Avenue, going all the way between the new Little Wolves Early Childhood Learning Center and Michigan City High School. This should all have been part of the reconstruction of Paz Road. So I want to know if that's going to happen anytime this. Now the school's out. Now's the perfect time to put those down. That's long overdue. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Hello, Board. Scott Melantur, Kenwood Place. I understand this is a community matching grant, but without any discussion, we're talking about making Franklin Street, Franklin Square 2 ways again. And I specifically asked about the previous project that did include making it 2-way with back-end parking, which is now no longer part of the plan, but making it 2 ways is. That would still involve changing the curbs because the pedestrian traffic calming curbs that we have are angled to match the parking the way it is on either side of the street. So it seems on one street, on the one side, that would have to be modified. And I question the need for making Franklin two-way again. I know it's a dream of many people to eliminate the library and city hall and open up a path to the lake. We all know that's never going to happen. Also, Franklin is a slow zone now at 25 miles an hour with stop signs every, 250 feet, 500 feet. It feels like every 100 feet when you're driving. This would add more signs going in the opposite direction. It seems to be, we need more discussion about the two-way traffic on Franklin. In my opinion, there's not any traffic coming from the library from the north, from 4th Street headed south on Franklin. It's been this direction and this orientation for several decades. People are used to it. Our thoroughfares are the major streets on either side of Franklin, Pine, and Washington, which I submit we could remove a couple stop signs to restore a little flow on those. I have nothing against Global Engineering or Shem. He's a fine local engineer, local company. I do question the need of changing the two-way traffic. And as a side note, I drove up Tilden today. I want to thank the board for the hard work that went into having that restriped and the new ADA compliant curbs put in. I would only suggest that you might want to get a street cleaner out there to clean up some of the loose gravel and stuff that's left, but it looks great. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Anything online, Drew, you see? Okay. Any other questions? I'll close public comments. Any other questions from the board to Mr. Khalil? Hearing none, do I hear a motion? Entertain a motion? Absolutely.
Could we ask Tim here what he thinks of it, or is that appropriate, or?
I think we need to advertise this project and get going. The sooner the better. Any other questions?
Do you mean specifically about the CCMG programs or the contract?
Yeah, no.
General over.
Shem and Skylar, we've all talked about the streets that are going to be involved in it and what needs to be done to that. And from the city engineer standpoint, the two-way of Franklin is necessary for the commercial businesses on Franklin.
Skylar.
We're not losing any parking. It's going to be the same number of spaces based on what Skylar and Shem and I have worked out. So
I don't think this is
Attorney LeBay,
working.
I can hear you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Board of Works approved the two-way street conversion some time ago under a previous administration.
We did, and we didn't bid it out. We bid it out, and it was a lot of money. And at that time, it was also reverse angle parking, which was kind of frowned upon. We went through a few public meetings. We worked out a lot of things, but it just kind of fell by the wayside for cost. Now we actually have an opportunity to buy down some of that cost that was included in that with respect to the curbs, striping, paving, things of that nature. And honestly, we'd be able to partner this with, I think the Redevelopment Commission is interested in partnering as well. They've approved a contract for the engineering, and they would like to partner and basically take out some of the pinch points, if you will, and it will actually gain parking, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
In fact, the project will adjust the alignment as well between 10th Street and 8th Street.
Yes.
That is a major realignment of the street. The center line was not matching in that area. If you drive Franklin Street by 9th Street, you'll have to make a kind of an adjustment to get to Franklin.
Yeah.
So that will be adjusted as well in this project.
And it also includes a restriping as soon as you come over 11th Street,
Right.
with taking those two lanes into one lane with a turn lane. Now that we have a garage there, it's a 585 space garage. It's going to demand some different traffic pattern there.
Cool.
And then there's also some uncertainty with some of the other land around there, like the car lot. If that was to become a parking garage or a mixed use building or something like that, how would all that change that space, if you will?
In addition to the adjustment as well, the traffic light actually will be added to this project. So the traffic light adjustment will be added, which is permitted yellow left heading south on Franklin Street.
Yeah. We're not there yet, but we will be soon. But yes, that was part of that project. Any other questions of Mr. Khalil or our city engineer, Mr. Werner? Do I hear a motion from the board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Support.
I'll call the roll. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Hi.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank
Blue.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Our next order of business today is personnel. Ms. Tatanisha George, our Human Rights Director, is requesting approval of the job description for a part-time bus driver. Ms. George?
Good afternoon, Board. I'm Tatanisha George, Human Resources Director, City of Michigan City. I'm appearing today to get approval for the job description of a part-time bus driver. Since we are in the process of redoing the transit triangle, which is the bus service between Michigan City, Purdue University, I believe in LaPorte. What the transit director has requested to do is to utilize part-time bus drivers to run that particular route. So when we were discussing this, we realized that there was not a job description for part-time bus driver. So I want to go ahead and get this created so that she can go ahead and function and get those positions filled.
Sounds like that might be advantageous for other things as well.
Yeah.
Any questions of Ms. George from the board? I'll open it up for public comment. Any public comment on this subject? Any public comment? Any online, Drew? Going once, going twice? Okay, close public comment. I'll open it back up to the board. Any questions from Ms. George? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve. Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Hi.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
Give me 1 second. Next order of business is a vendor license request. David Edsinga, Irish Roofing, is requesting a canvassing vendor license for 1 year for roofing and siding repair. Do I see? Oh, there's Mr. Edsinga. Edsinga, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Probably not.
Yeah, you're doing great. Thank you.
Introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you're from, and your address, and do the whole thing.
Sure. David Edzinga from Irish Roofing of Michigan. We are based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, 6640 28th Street, Southeast Grand Rapids, Michigan. We are a roofing and siding contractor. Up until recently, we've operated up to the border. We have an office in Portage, Michigan, and we have roofed and done siding projects down to the state line. And in the recent tornado and hailstorm, we've seen some opportunity and some need to come down across the line and provide some services to folks in need. We're seeking a vendor license to be able to canvass neighborhoods to solicit and provide services.
Any questions from the board? Ms. Moore? You look like you want to say, you look like you're ready.
Yeah. Is this appropriate for comments now as opposed to questions? Can I do comments?
I think
at
you
this point in
can,
time?
I think you can comment or ask. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity. Since our last approval of things here in Michigan City with the opening of solicitation, I've had a lot of people complain to me about vendors knocking on doors, etc. And I'm concerned definitely about the number of people that we will have canvassing. Already we have over 20, and it just is going to keep growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
And that concerns me for our, it doesn't prohibit you from doing business here. It just, you can send mailers out, right? You can mail in the mail. You just can't go door to door. I'm suggesting or would like to request maybe that we table this request and all vendors here today. I'm so sorry if this goes through, and for future vendors also, if we could table it until we have a chance to talk with the city council to address this particular ordinance, because it just can, it seems like it could just keep going and going and going and there's no end. And I would like to request that if that's a possibility.
Is that I guess I would need to open it up for public comment, or is that an official motion?
You could open up for public comment and then, you can go back and.
Go back and have a discussion.
After,
So,
yeah.
at this time, I'll open it up for public comment. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. I think y'all made a big mistake allowing these last three to be allowed to go canvassing these last. In the past, these always been denied. I said back in 2021, Restoration Builders came. They won the same thing. We denied them. 2 meetings later, they came back. They put in requests, just wanted to hand out all their marketing material, which is prohibited by ordinance. We don't leave their marketing material. If your sign said no soliciting on the door, you don't go knocking. And if the resident asks the solicitor to leave, they gotta leave. They can't keep on pushing it. Though last time they were all worried about scams and COVID and everything else going on. I think we just need, the three we got now is just fine. We're not gonna have every contractor from all the way from Chicago to South Bend, all the way to Detroit coming and knocking on our doors. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Hello, Scott Nolan, 200 Kenwood Place. I have a different viewpoint than Mr. Kolovic. And my understanding was we don't have 20, we have 3 people. Competition in our capitalistic system is always considered to be good. More competition should equal better, more choices and lower prices for people. So I guess I would ask for clarification if we've got 20 vendors that have knocking licenses or 3. Maybe we could consider talking with the city council in the future about having a limit to the number of these licenses handed out. 3 doesn't seem excessive to me. And again, the people petitioning the board to get this license are trying to do it the right way. The people we don't want are people who aren't licensed or haven't gone through the system. And instead of tabling this, I would suggest you approve this. And if you want to modify the rules, modify them after these folks have had a chance to help people improve their houses in Michigan City. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Anything online, Drew? We'll acknowledge the online public comment. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Angelo Saya. I'm one of the owners of Romans Roofing. I'm one of the contractors that was fortunate to get the okay to solicit in Michigan City. And I do actually kind of piggyback off of the homeowner that just spoke. I apologize, sir, I don't recall your name. But I do think there's something to be said just about myself and the other few contractors, because I thought there was going to be a plethora of other, in some ways, competition. But again, there's companies that are right in the backyard here and are still working in the area that we haven't worked in fully. And, you know, we went through the process to try to do it the right way. So I just want to say I do commend. I saw today that there was 2 other contractors vying for their vendor license, and that it just goes to show you that there are some people that do want to work in the community and do it the right way. And in some ways, I guess if you would say he is a competitor, I do applaud you, sir, for at least trying again to do it the right way. And I would I guess, back him in that regard when it comes to the city looking into it. Because again, there is a lot of competition out there, and I know there's probably people out there knocking doors that shouldn't, but I don't think it's fair to give someone, you know, a no in some ways if they're, you know, trying to do it the way where you guys have been asked to. And you guys have been great to myself and my company, and I don't know if that means anything, but that's all.
Thank you for your comment. Any other comments? Public comment? Anything online, Drew? We're good? Okay, hearing. Oh, no. Okay. Hearing none, I'll close the public comment section of this hearing. Any questions from the board or any comments from the board or anything?
I'll just make the comment that we approved 3 vendors, and after the fact, after they completed their applications, even some of them now are coming back to ask for more employees to be issued. So yeah, we have 3 vendors, but we have 20.
I see what you're saying.
20 people for one company, maybe that might be knocking on doors. So I think that's what she meant. I'm sorry.
That makes total sense.
That's exactly what I meant.
So the canvassers themselves, you have 20. Yeah. 3 vendors, 20 canvassers or more. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I've also received complaints, but my complaints actually aren't from our licensed vendors. It's from previously when we had everybody and every company and the fly-by-night contractors coming in and knocking on doors and ultimately trying to take advantage of our residents in Michigan City. We put this ordinance in place so that individuals and companies can come and say, hey, look, we are legit. We are a stable company. We have our insurance. We have permits. We're working with the planning department. We know what's expected of us, and that offers some protection to the citizens of Michigan City. Because unfortunately, our vendors are going to keep knocking on doors, or our companies are going to keep knocking on doors, and it's the people who aren't contracted and licensed with the city that are the problem, not the people who are here tonight trying to get and knocking on doors. Even though I personally hate it, I don't answer my door anytime somebody comes and knocks on my door. That's been a way of business for decades. It's how things have been done. So that's my 2 cents. I definitely agree with you and see what you're saying, but at the same token, I don't feel comfortable stifling businesses who are trying to do the right thing.
And I was not trying to stifle business. I was just asking that we table it and review the ordinance to see if there's anything else that maybe could be done, because already, like we said, we're already up to 20 solicitors, and it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing, in my opinion.
Do I hear?
Are we counting those that are requesting additional people to be added to as in that 20?
Takes it over even more.
Okay, just you look you're deep in thought there for a minute. Do I hear a motion? I'll entertain a motion.
I would like to make a motion that we table the request until we have an opportunity to address this with the city council a little bit further regarding the ordinance on solicitors, not people doing business here, but on the solicitation part of it.
The door-to-door.
The door-to-door. Got it. Do I hear a second for that motion? Do I hear a second? Your second. Okay, motion dies. Do I hear? I'll entertain another motion. Any other motions to be made?
I'll motion for approval.
Do I hear a second?
Support.
I'll call for the roll. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Miss and Tisdale.
Aye.
Miss Smith.
Aye.
Miss Moore.
Nay.
Chair votes aye as well. Motion approved. All right, our next order of business is we have a vendor's license request, another vendor's license request. This is David Burke Hensred. I hope I'm saying that right. Hensred. I feel bad. Horrible with last names. Hensred. Shared Stories Home and Remodeling is requesting a canvassing vendor license for 1 year for remodel and replacement of roofing, siding, and gutters. You're here to represent the business?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Your
My
name.
name's David Burke Hensrud. Very good job, Mr. President. Thank you for your time, board as well. I'm here for similar requests to the prior contractor. Again, I'm one of the owners of Shared Stories Home and Remodeling. The company was created 3 years ago in Baltimore, Maryland, by my partner, Virgil Murphy, who grew up in Michigan City. My wife and I also lived in Michigan City for about 5 years before I got into construction. I maybe even fed some of you folks. I've been a baker and chef around the area back in the day with my dad. I worked at a little sandwich shop called Doughboys that was right up the street. that some of you might remember. So shortly after that, I got into construction, worked with a couple contractors that work in the area. And this year, we've created Indiana's branch of shared storage home and remodeling. So we do have ties to the city. We are vested in staying here. We're not trying to leave after the summer. We're trying to just follow the protocol as the prior gentleman and do everything by the rules, hopefully with your support and approval. And ultimately just to go, door to door near jobs that we are working, streets that we are working on, to inform clients that, we are here and we're here to help if we can offer services.
Any questions from the board?
How many canvassers do you
It would
have?
be just myself and my wife.
Two.
So no future additional requests and whatnot, just myself and my wife. We're a small family business.
Any comments from the board? I'll open it up for public comments. Public comments?
Yeah, Tommy Kolovic, 1360. If we're gonna be allowing all this door to door, what we need to do now is we need to go up for 250, maybe up to 500, or maybe even go on up about $1,000 per solicitor. Like I say about giving all these free closures and uses of our property, we giving away the store. We need to stop. We need to bring in some money. Would Carmel or Fishers or Noblesville or Westfield, would they let all these solicitors go door to door? And I don't think so.
Any other public comment?
Hello, Scott Melancher at Kenwood Place. Tommy brought up a good point in a previous thing, and even today. People always have the option of having a no solicitor sign posted, and as we know, many people do. Many people don't answer the phones, many people don't answer the doors. So people have that option. But our board member brings up a good point about there's a big difference between knocking on the people on the block you're working on versus an army of solicitors blanketing the city. Clearly, that's something we're probably not for, and that's something to be brought up with the city council and probably changing the solicitor law. I, again, would support a business such as this having the ability to knock on the neighbor saying, hey, I'm working at Phil's house. Do you need anything done? I think that's how business is mostly done. And in fact, one of those 3 approved roofers was doing a quote across the street from me, and they knocked on my door. And in fact, it was the man who spoke. I believe it was Romans Roofing, and they found hail damage. So we'll see if the insurance covers the new roof or not. And I didn't think I had damage. So good can come of this, because I'm normally I have the no soliciting, well, my soliciting sign's down. I typically don't want to be bothered either. But, letting contractors, we need to differentiate between this and mass solicitation. But that has to be taken up in a different venue, I think. So, of course, I would recommend you support this man and his petition. Thank you.
Any other public comment tonight? Anything online? True. I'll entertain a motion for this. So for this topic. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Hearing a motion and a second, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Antisto.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Nay, but I like you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was good. Chair votes aye as well, and thank you for staying in Michigan City. I thought you looked very familiar to me.
Sure.
I remember
Yeah,
you in the
made
back.
bread for you folks.
Absolutely.
Before, so, very good. Is that final then?
Yes, just make sure all of the contractors that we have approved tonight, please make sure you speak to our permitting department and get all your licensing done and registration, things of that nature. There are 2 individuals right back there sitting. I see them that you can speak with. Thank you.
Okay. And that was, sorry, I didn't hear, that was approved then?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
All right. Our next order of business tonight is a request for a special event. Robert? Robert and Robin Briggs Modern Midways is requesting to host a family fair in the parking lot of Marquette Mall from June 19th, 2024 to June 30th, 2024 on weekdays from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and on weekends from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Is there anyone here representing this request? Anyone at all representing this request? Okay. Okay. I'll open up for board comments on this.
I've got a comment.
Yeah, please.
So I reached out to our fire department today to see if our fire marshals even had the opportunity to review the very elementary site plan that we received on this. He said he has not. He reached out to the state fire marshal. There's been no permitting that's been done. I reached out to Skylar, your department. Sue has received no electrical setup plans, no evacuation plans. We don't have a list of any of the vendors. We don't know if they've been licensed through the health department. We don't know if what kind of tents and any kind of fire retardation elements there are. So without this individual being here and these unanswered questions, those would be my concerns for the board right now.
Yes, typically when we get these in, the first order is they would typically contact Jeff Breeder, Fire Marshal, and Miss Sue Downs and lay out an electrical plan, an evacuation plan, things of that nature. You may recall we do get that for the one that sets up over here in the other parking lot. They have emergency exits. It also lets us know how much time it's going to take to review the setup of this when we're actually literally going out there and inspecting all the electrical connections and things of that nature. Just a little bit more information. Any comments from the board?
I was going to say, additionally, these individuals had submitted their request and then emailed the board and said their plan was to begin setup this evening after the board meeting, and they tried to hash out details via email, which I wasn't comfortable with either. I really don't have a good feeling about the rushed aspect of this. I don't want to be the board that says no, but the safety of our residents is paramount.
Yes, although the property manager sent us a letter saying that she agrees to it, but we need to pump the brakes and wait for someone to appear before the board so we can get some clarifications on the procedures.
I will open this up for, do I need to open this up for public comment? Ms. LePage? Yeah, we'll do it.
You're there.
Yeah, we'll do it. Any public comment on this subject? Okay, hearing none. Anything online? I don't see any. I'll close public comment section. Any other questions from the board? We do have Ms. Downs out in the audience who can answer any other further questions, but I believe we've given you a lot of information. Any other comments?
Just a little bit regarding ordinances again, sorry.
Yeah.
But our Michigan City ordinance says that they have to file at least 30 days in advance.
Absolutely.
And they did not. It was not 30 days. And also the LaPorte temporary vendor permit for LaPorte County. We have no idea if that's been filled out. Nobody's provided any of that information. And the LaPorte County Health Department has to approve the mobile establishments, and none of that we've seen nothing regarding that yet.
State Fire Marshal approval as well. Yeah. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to deny.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, I'll call for the roll. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Miss Smith?
Aye.
Miss Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next order of business, traffic control. Scott Malin of 200 Kenwood Place is requesting to change the traffic signals at the Nickty crossing so that people won't run the red lights going northbound after a train passes and the gates go up. And this is at Franklin and 11th. Scott, floor's yours. I know we kind of stole it a little bit earlier.
No, that's
Go
okay.
ahead.
I mean, so I was only asked to fill out the form to get a record of it. The city engineer is aware of this, and you're aware of this. But in short, when a train passes now on 11th Street and the arm bars go down, you get a red light in both north and south. But when the gates go up, the signals aren't synchronized. Southbound traffic gets a green and a left turn arrow first. So southbound traffic's able to start moving. The platoon that's been waiting northbound, I've seen it happen twice, including a police vehicle. When the arms go up, they assume it's time to move forward, even though they have a red light. And it's just an accident waiting to happen. And I know you're all aware of it, but we need to get the what's this flashing yellow?
Yellow.
Permitted, and so they both go green at the same time because people assume when the arms go up, it's good to go, even though they still have a red light. So it's just people are running the red light, they just don't know that they are. That's all.
Any comments from the board? I will tell you that me and the city engineer are very much aware of it. Tim is working on this right now. There's also we want to marriage basically the 10th interconnect, the 10th light, and the 11th Street light, so that when the platoon is moving north or south, that they're moving all through at once, and they're not going through, stopping, and then backing up across the track from a large backup, something like that.
Okay.
So that's what we're working on right now. It will take a little bit of coordination and a little bit of work. Tim's organizing that right now. Mr. Simmons.
I just wanted to interject. I thought we went through this last meeting. Didn't we cover this?
Not no, I wasn't. I haven't watched it yet.
It was brought up during public comment, so we put it on the agenda, so it'll be addressed.
What I would ask that we do is maybe we table this and we can hear back, but let's table it for a little while out because we're just now starting this conversation with the electricians and seeing what all we need to do. Tim, you can give us a time frame of tabling?
Yeah, I'd like to see this corrected as soon as we can, just for that reason. I think all of us that have been at that intersection have seen when the gates go up, our cars have run the red light. Just because the gates go up, they see the traffic on the other side go, they're like, okay, I gotta go. I've been sitting there, playing with my phone or whatever. So no, I think changing it to a permissive flashing yellow left turn lane for eastbound 11th Street for the southbound traffic is the way to go. So, well, like I said, we're working on it. We got to get the interconnect with 10th Street that we're working on, and I don't know exactly what kind of approvals were made before with the Federal Rail and NICD South Shore as far as that signal, since I wasn't here. So we want to make sure we cover all the bases and that everybody's okay with it and the South Shore doesn't have a headache. But I think they'll be happy to know that we're trying to clear out traffic all the way past 10th Street and not have an accident in the middle of their tracks when somebody's turning and somebody runs that red light because the gates go up, I'm going to go kind of condition instead of having that left turn in front of them.
Thank you. What do you think? Put this out a month?
I hope to have it sooner than that.
I hope so too. It's very. I'll call for public comment.
Yeah, Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. The other thing I want to add, where are we at on the quiet zone? Well, I think we're supposed to get some kind of federal approval on that. We spent $200,000 implementing all this so we can have the quiet zone, so we can have those black paper bags taking off those signs saying no horn. Come on, let's get going on this, okay? I've been against the quiet zone anyway. Just about a week and a half ago, some idiot in a dump truck tried to run the gate over in Gary and had a train versus vehicle. There were passengers that were injured on that train. It's very horrific being in a train versus vehicle accident when you're a passenger on the train, because I ought to know, because it happened to me twice. The impact is just horrific. It's almost like going convulsions, can't stop shaking. I was trying to text message my mom. Let's get that taken care of now. Thank you.
All right, so we'll put this out for us to have a report back next month. Okay. The 15th? We did.
Sooner, better.
Let's do the first meeting of next month. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Madam Clerk? Okay, do I hear a motion for first meeting of next month?
Motion to table until July 1st.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale? Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. July 1st. Give me 1 second. Our next order of business is a request for special purchase. The Michigan City Police Department is requesting to purchase 4 2023 Dodge Chargers and 1 2023 Ram 1500 for a total of $261,730.65. Chief Worker, thank you.
Good afternoon, board. I'll apologize for my attire. I'm in vacation mode here. I start tomorrow morning, so leaving town. So I just wanted to touch base with you on this purchase. Prior to that, again, the Michigan City Police Department is asking permission to purchase again 4 2023 Dodge Chargers and 1 2023 Dodge Ram 1500. This quote does include equipment and outfitting as well. So it's, a fully functioning police car, decals, everything are applied, at this cost. So this is basically all inclusive bid. The dealer, LaPorte Chrysler, again, is offering a substantial government discount from the MSRP on these vehicles. I believe that all of you hopefully got the packet from them. Again, we're also requesting to trade in several. I believe it was 18, 1, 2, 3.
There was quite a few.
Older vehicles, ranging from the newest one being a 2014 to the oldest one being, I think, a 2006 Segways that no longer, the battery life on those no longer work. So again, there are a few vehicles that are listed on the value for, I would say, significantly less, right? $100. Those vehicles do not function, are wrecked vehicles. So essentially they'll pay us for a little bit for scrap for them. All of those vehicles on the trade list have gone through central maintenance. I've worked with Daryl there and their staff to just basically give them all an overview. They are in agreement that they're on the fritz and to be ready to be traded in.
Excellent. Any comments from the board?
I got a question. So on the equipment is that new equipment or is that equipment coming from?
So that's all purchase new equipment.
Okay.
Traditionally, we found that when we start taking equipment out of the older cars, especially example, right, the ones that we're trading in, right, that's quite outdated. And, again, when we start removing stuff from the old, putting them into new cars, we generally have bad experiences when doing that.
Any other comments from the board? Open up for public comment. Any public comment? Any public comment? Anything online? Okay, hearing none, I'll close public comment. Do I hear a motion from the board?
Motion to approve.
For a second?
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Assistant Chief. Right, our next order of business today is a request for special purposes. The Michigan City Forester is requesting to purchase a 2015 Ford F-750 bucket truck and a 2014 Brush Bandit 12-inch, 88 horsepower diesel chipper for a total amount of $104,000.00. City Forester, Mr. Mike Wolf, floor is yours.
Well, yeah, I'm Michael Wolf, City Forester. And yes, I am requesting that you guys allow me to spend $104,000 for a used bucket truck and chipper to be used for our tree removal.
Can you tell us a little bit about the opportunity that we have right now to purchase this vehicle and kind of compare what a new one would be versus this, and just tell us how this opportunity kind of came about?
The opportunity came about when I started looking at the fact that we have a lot of tree work that needs to be done, and the city doesn't actually own its own bucket truck and chipper. So I'm literally forced to go out and solicit bids for tree work. The average tree job right now costs the city about $2,500 to have a tree removed. And this is work we can do ourselves. If we just had the right equipment and the trained personnel. But we could do this ourselves. Estimated right now that we have around 200 dead, dying, and diseased trees that need removed. Or in dollars and cents, that's $500,000 worth of work that we're going to have to hire somebody to go do that we could do ourselves. A new bucket truck, I started with the new bucket truck. A new bucket truck by itself, the truck is about $250,000. And a new chipper is about 106. I'll round that up a little to 110,000. That's for a new unit. So I started looking for used units, which would be obviously far more economical. Used units are available. The company that I've chosen is a company that gets used vehicles. They recondition them, go over them front to back, get them recertified. Bucket trucks for tree work typically need to be dielectrically tested, and they have to be DOT inspected annually. OSHA requires some special things that have to be done, but annually you're going to have that done. So this company brings them up to specs. The truck that I had chosen with them is an equal, if you will, to the new truck. I tried to compare apples to apples. These are standard Ford F-750 forestry trucks. Difference between a forestry truck and a lift truck that you'd have in an electrical use is that the bucket, instead of it being a rear mounted bucket that just goes up and down the side to side, a forestry bucket articulates 360 degrees, and it's called flipping over. You can take the bucket, extend it all the way up, come down, and then to get around power lines or phone lines or other obstacles, you can then come back in and come up from the bottom and come into the trees. So it's a very unique piece of equipment. But everything I tried to get was a apples to apples comparison. They're both Ford F-750s, which is a standard utility truck. They have 6.7 liter diesel engines. They're turbocharged. Same thing that you'd find in your, very similar to what you'd find in a pickup truck, an F-350 pickup truck. Same with the chipper. Chippers are compatible. They're not identical as far as make, but they are the same horsepower, which is 88 horsepower diesel chipper. They'll take a log up to 12 inches in diameter and chew that up. The trucks both are under CDL, so we don't have to have special licenses to operate them. They automatic transmissions, 10-speed automatic transmissions. And the chipper's a pull behind. Like I said, it's a standard unit similar to you'd find anywhere.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Any questions from the board?
This becomes a city vehicle purchase, right?
Correct.
So what about the maintenance of the vehicle?
Maintenance of the vehicle would go through our standard, and I'll be honest, full disclosure, I haven't talked to the central services about it, but this is an F-750 pickup truck. Unlike, it's not any different than any pickup truck or any 750 truck. The maintenance can easily be done by our staff without special training, without having to send the truck off to be fixed. The truck only has to be sent off annually to get its testing done. Well, that's something we can't do.
But the purchase right now is as is, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So no
It-
warranty, no,
There is no extended warranty on that.
so you could purchase and drive off the lot and it die and there's no recourse.
Well, yes and no. You are correct in that sense that no warranty does imply that that could be an issue. But I've used this company before. These trucks are completely refurbished, sandblasted, painted. It looks like brand new. In fact, I actually have a picture of the truck itself. That's a picture of the actual truck. I would not expect that it would happen. But the extended warranty, even on the new one, if you wanted to get an extended warranty on the new one, a 2-year warranty on the new one's an additional $12,000.
So if you take possession of this vehicle, do we currently have anybody trained to not drive the truck, obviously, but as far as the bucket and the chipper and everything, do we have?
Partially. We have gone through a training program on chainsaw use for tree work and on ground use for the bucket truck. And so we have had training. We have people who are now trained to operate it. But we do not or have not done the training on the chipper training, which is specialized training. However, that training can be done anytime. I'm currently working on a manual for that, and I can do the training in-house.
Any other questions from the board?
I'm just hesitant with no warranty, as well as when you stated that how many personnel do you have that are trained? You just mentioned that no training.
Yeah, with the street department is who would be the personnel we're using.
Mhm.
And I believe there were 6 of them in the training for the bucket truck and the chainsaw use.
I think we're just starting to train. We
That's
really
correct.
haven't done a lot of training in the past. But I do know that you guys went through a chainsaw, bucket truck, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Just hesitant at putting the city at risk. I would prefer to hear that people are trained as we speak.
Tamiko, you have one more question?
I believe they are doing the training right now, right? They're in the middle of it. Didn't you
Yeah,
say?
we're working on the training, but I actually don't have a staff of people trained who could, who I would want to send out and let use the equipment as is.
Yeah, we're in the midst of just now.
But we're training them.
Yeah.
We've never had an opportunity in the past to need the training, so no one's ever had it.
Tamiko, you have one more question? Ms. Smith?
I'm sorry, you said you're going down to see the truck. Are you taking anyone from maintenance with you? Any other mechanics or anyone who would also be there with you to look at the car?
Yeah, I will take the head of maintenance with me, and there's no problem with getting the truck checked out.
I will. Any other questions, Ms. Moore? You have anything? St. Tisdale? Okay, I'm going to open it up for public comment.
Hi, Scott Melantur, Kenwood Place. Just like the police department needs vehicles, sounds like a forestry department needs specialized equipment. It's hard to say we have a forestry department if they don't have the ability to cut down a tree. This is sounds like he's done his research with a reconditioned vehicle. There's no guarantees in life, but it seems like a city of our size deserves a bucket truck that can do this kind of work. I would ask the company how many hours are on the engine and the transmission, since they won't have done anything to that. But other than that, I would recommend you do this. This is much less expensive than new equipment, and these kind of things don't stay available forever. So, again, what goes to forestry department that can't cut down a tree? Let's give them the ability and the tools they need to do that. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Anything online? Okay. I'll close public comment. Any comments from the board?
It appears you received 3 bids or solicitations you reached out to 3 different companies, correct?
I actually solicited 4.
Mike, can you use the mic?
I'm sorry. I actually solicited 4. I have written quotes from 2 with me, but so a lot of that was done over the phone, trying to compare apples to apples and see who can give me what I'm looking for.
Okay. So you've done your due diligence and attempted to save the city money by going with used that you feel is pertinent to what we need.
Yeah, like he had mentioned about hours, bucket trucks are one of those things that miles don't mean anything. This truck has 45,000 miles on it. Bucket trucks set idling. That's how they operate. So and I believe it's got 102 hours on the motor. The transmission hours doesn't matter. It's 40,000 miles on a transmission. And bucket trucks, there are a lot of bucket trucks that are available that they're in service, they're working great, they've been maintained. A lot of the contracts, for instance, NIPSCO on their bucket trucks, which I worked for NIPSCO as a subcontractor. NIPSCO doesn't allow any vehicle on the contract that's over 5 years old. So if I've got a 5-year-old truck that's nearly brand new, I have to get rid of it, buy another truck and bring it on site.
Board, I'm not sure if it was said already, but the council's already approved the funding for this from ARPA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's where I was gonna say that. That's where our money's coming from. Mr. Wolf has shared other things with me that this is a good opportunity for the truck. I like the idea that it's cycled out. I didn't know that about trucks, like with NIPSCO and DOT and things of that nature. So,
oh yeah. But
go ahead.
One more note, and thank you. We do have that grant, the $1 million grant, that included in that is training and things for staff. So some of that's in that grant money.
Yeah, I feel like this is preparing us for that grant because we haven't really been able to tap that grant yet. And I don't even know how many trees we're putting out, but I mean, essentially we're putting out, taking down trees, and we have the opportunity to put trees back in.
That's exactly correct.
It seems like it fills a gap.
Included in the grant is the tree inventory, which I need to assess, give me a heads up on how many trees we have to replace. And we're going to be replacing 1,500 trees over the next few years. So there's a lot of planning that has to take place.
Absolutely. You'll be keeping the mulch around them or something like
I
that?
actually do plan to keep
Absolutely.
the mulch.
That was one of the things I remember you speaking.
Recycle and reuse it.
Absolutely. Any other questions from the board of our city forester? Sounds like he's put a lot of thought into this. Do I hear a motion from the board?
Motion for approval.
Support. We're going to motion in a second. I'll call for the roll. Mr. Simmons? Aye. Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Thank you, guys.
Our next order of business is a memorandum of understanding, an MOU between the City of Michigan City, by and through the Board of Works with the Economic Development Corporation of Michigan City, Indiana, for the EDCMC to administer the Small Business Assistance Grant Program funded by the American Rescue Plan Act. Ms. LePage, have you reviewed this memorandum?
I helped write it.
So we're good.
So yeah.
So we're good.
I think we're good. The council previously approved ARPA funds for small business grants. Part of that money was designated for a grant administrator who at all times is going to be the Michigan City Economic Development Corporation. This is just a memorandum of understanding. We need to memorialize their grant services. So obviously they put the grant together, they've distributed it, they're managing it, they're overseeing it, they're doing all the accounting and award notifications. So this would just be in furtherance of what's already been started.
Mr. Hulse was kind enough to send us some awardees, a list of awardees. There's 25 right now, just as an example, that just to assure the public that we are putting this money out into the public and that it is making it to our small businesses. So, with that being said, any questions from the board? I'll open it up for public comment. Any public comment? Anything online, Drew? All right, hearing nothing online, I'll end public comment. Anything further from the board? Entertain a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Hearing a motion in a second, call for the roll. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you. All right, our next order of business is a contract for marketing partnership agreement between the Indiana Destination Development Corporation, IDDC, and the City of Michigan City for the 2024 Summer Quality of Life campaign for a total of $50,000. Ms. LePage, I assume you have reviewed this?
I have. So again, the council approved ARPA funds for some marketing. This agreement would be a match. So the city puts in 50,000, we'll get, it's 1-to-1. So we'll get a match of another 50. But it's going to pay for video, digital, audio, and social media advertising exposure up until September of this year.
Excellent. I think this goes hand in hand with our next order of business. It seems like it all kind of fits together for promotion of Indiana, or I'm sorry, promotion of Michigan City, Indiana. Any questions of the board? Any comments? Okay, I'll open up for public comment. Any public comment? Anything online, Drew? Okay, I'll close public comment. Do I hear, I'll entertain a motion?
Motion to approve. Motion to approve. Those are my boys.
You good? I heard it and I got it. We got a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
And chair votes aye as well. Thank you. Our next order of business is a contract between Sarah Group and the City of Michigan City for website logo and branding for a total amount of $103,348.00. Ms. LePage, I assume you have reviewed this, and I see it, Mayor.
I have. Go ahead and let Mayor speak.
Absolutely.
Please.
Mayor, the floor is yours. Mayor, can you hear me? Actually, Seth, do you want to jump in on this one?
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so we have a proposal out for the logo, branding, and website for the City of Michigan City. I am a LaPorte County native myself. We have a large presence in Michigan City. We're very familiar, and this is really a ground-up effort to...
I did have a comment, but you already passed it, so I'm good. Thank
Mayor,
you.
we'll come back.
Okay. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer it. But this is really a start to finish process of logo, branding, website, and support thereafter.
Mayor, would you like to comment? Okay. We're gonna move on, jump in when you get ready. Seth, this sounds like we're actually gonna get a .in.gov new website as well. Correct?
Correct. So Andy
exciting.
Mechanic, I believe he would lead that, but there is already one reserved and we would connect with that.
That sounds amazing. Okay. Any comments of the board?
The council approved a lot for ARPA here with the most recent, so this would be just in furtherance of the council's appropriation of monies from ARPA.
Any other comments from the board?
That was my only question. Was this our?
Yes. Yes. I'll open up for public comment.
Yeah, Tommy Kolavic, 1316 Ohio Street. Yeah, well, I can't wait to get the new website online. This website we got now is just a piece of crap. You know, that was all implemented back in 2017. It kind of went hand in hand with the Roger Brooks International Create, Play, Repeat with, you know, Craig Phillips and Rich Murphy and Ron Muir and all that. That was just a disaster from the start. Now we're going to have a better, much improved interactive website, more along the line of a city like Michigan City should have. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Anything online? Hearing none, I'll close public comments. I'm very excited about a new website. I love the .in.gov. I'm very excited, and it goes hand in hand with some other things we're doing with permitting and things of that nature. So I'm, like I said, I can't say it enough. I'm excited about this process. So thank you, Seth. Any comments from the board? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
For a second?
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you. All right. Our next order of business is a request for additional employees. Romans Roofing is requesting additional employees for their canvassing peddler license. Are they here tonight? Do I hear to see Romans? Is someone here to represent them?
He was on Zoom before.
Oh, yes, he was there.
Yeah.
I still see. Oh, Angelo, I see your hand raised right now. I'll acknowledge you and get you up.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Angelo Saya. I'm one of the owners of Romans Roofing. I attended the last meeting in regards to this. And yes, I'm here to request the additional employees that we have that may or may not be potentially going door to door in the area.
Okay. My only question is how many, I would like to know too, how many are you requesting? How many you currently have and how many you're requesting? Good question. Good. Excellent. Thank you.
I believe the first group, so in the first group, there were some of the owners that were included in that. So like, I don't typically go door to door, but I felt that I should still have all of the credentials that are needed, whether I'm out there or not, just to, again, stay face with any homeowner or property owner, to let them know it's not just our employees, but it's all the way up to the owners. And it's the same with this new batch. So 2 of the other owners are listed on there as well. I'm sorry, just 1 on this new batch. And I want to say total, the first go round, I believe it was 9, including the 2 owners. So it'd probably be, I think one of the guys was a team lead. So 5 people on the first group that actually would be in some ways going door to door. And then in the second group, I also think I might be mistaken. I also think it was 9, but one of them is an owner and a team lead. So it would be 7.
5 and 7. Okay.
I do have
Ms.
a
Moore.
question. Did you file the driver's license with the clerk as well? Because I'm not seeing the driver's license on the application.
Yes, ma'am. So in the first group, I had everyone's driver's license. There was just some of our internal paperwork. So some of them also had the social securities on there. And then also with the second group, everyone had a photo ID with that as well.
Madam Clerk, do you know if there's the driver's license? Because I don't see them. They weren't provided to us.
Isabel put these packets together before she left, so I'm not sure where they would be.
Okay.
Ooh.
I should be able to pull up the packet that I sent out, the PDF packet with all the documents. If someone has access to the internet, I would be more than happy to. I can try to forward that over. Or it was a recent email.
Ms. LePage, I would look for you for some guidance.
Well, the board. Well, the board could approve it subject to the receipt if the board so chose. I just don't have them. Does anybody else have them?
I do not in my packet.
Oh,
And I apologize, I didn't look at the online, so I just looked at the packet. Ms.
I do know if it's any help. The young lady that I believe typically accepts them was on vacation. And the day I came in, I spoke to, I think, maybe an intern. And I apologize, I don't remember the young lady's name in the mayor's office. Again, I don't know if that helps, but I believe the young lady, her name is Isabel, if I'm not mistaken. I just know she said that she wasn't going to be there. So I did submit to both emails, hers and I think the BOW one.
Okay. So what I just recommend to this board is if you do approve it, I mean, it would just be subject to the actual receipt of the driver's license.
Got it.
And the confirmation thereof.
Got it. Ms. Moore, I think you had a comment. I know you're waiting patiently. Thank you.
Just to confirm his comments, on the initial one, there were 8 that were submitted names, and on this one, there are 11 names that are additional names for canvassers. And just to reiterate my concern, but I also wonder that the license fee is just the same for somebody that has 20 or more, because he may come back and ask for more versus 2. And I don't know if that's anything that can be addressed or should be addressed. And that was part of why I had requested the tabling until we could maybe look at some of these issues, which I didn't bring up earlier, sorry.
No, it's a good point.
There's an additional $10 fee, but realistically, that needs to change because my office spends all day processing these and we have other things to do right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other comments from the board? Mr. Simmons, you had something? Your lights on? Ms. Tisdale.
I would say I do agree with Miss Moore in this aspect. This group came to us the first time. They had a large amount of people that they requested licenses for. We granted it because, again, they are doing the right thing. But now we do run into that issue where now we're just bombarding and papering our neighborhoods. So I would agree with Miss Moore in this aspect that we should probably table this additional vendors licenses until we can convene with the city council and solidify these ordinances.
I'll open up for public comment. Any public comment on this? Anything online? Okay, I'll close public comment section. Any other comments from the board, or do I hear a motion?
I'm not sure, excuse me, if the mayor's still there. I mean, she was super positive when we came in when I turned in the paperwork. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to hold any weight with it, but she was, seemed excited and actually mentioned, how she even hadn't had her roof looked at throughout the whole storm process and all that, and actually requested a card of mine. And along with that, everybody that's been in you guys' city hall building, everyone has been super supportive. I believe the lady that takes our photos, her name was Kim. She was very supportive with taking our, our photos and that. And I know it's a step, from their typical day to day, but I know the other gentlemen that were here, they alluded to the same thing, is that we are trying to do it the right way. And the first go around, I never submitted paperwork for something like this. And I take that upon myself. I didn't submit the other team, which I should have done. So that I do apologize for. I can say there wouldn't be another submission for any other of our employees. This is everyone, but it's also, like I said, it's anyone that would be basically stepping foot in Michigan City. So when it comes just to the door knocking aspect, everyone that is requesting it isn't someone that would be going door to door. And I think it was the first contractor that spoke. We do typically try to work around the areas that we're already working. And, you know, there's a lot of companies that do come out, and when we first got our fine, we, you know, weren't reluctant. We came in and we paid it. But we know that there's other companies, because of the beauty of social media, that have been kind of in some ways, I don't know, boasting or bragging about it. And we've kept our head down, and, you know, we just try to not get it, you know, interact with that. But there's companies that are out there right now, they're trying to put, you know, barbecuing for people, doing all this stuff. And it's like, we would love to do that, but we know that there's a right process to do that. And that's all we're trying to do, and help the community in the best way we see fit. When it comes to like a long-standing, I know my company is based out of Hobart, Indiana, but today we actually just closed on one of their historic buildings. We don't see ourselves going anywhere anytime soon. I know we're not, you know, right in your backyard, but we're a master elite contractor that helps the community, because out of 2% of all contractors in the United States, we're one of them that hold that criteria, and that's a GAF certification. And so, you know, in some, you know, crazy ways, like, we're helping the community even in that regard, because the more, you know, work we get, because we put on GAF shingles, more people in the community that work for that plant, you know, are working. And, you know, it's kind of nice that there's multiple levels that we're able to help, than just, you know, profiting off of, you know, a storm in some sense.
Sure. Okay. Public comment. We're going to close public comment section, we're back to board comments. Any comments from the board? Any other further thoughts from the board? Do I hear a motion?
I would just like to point out, at this point, we're not talking about denying this. We're just talking about tabling this until we can investigate all facets of it further and decide what we feel collectively may be best for the community members.
That being said, do I hear a motion?
Yes, there is a discrepancy in the numbers and the license, so I think we'll table it until the next meeting would be warranted. Yeah, pending. Yeah.
Put it on the pending list
Yeah.
until next.
That'll be in the form of a motion.
Okay. Do I hear a second for that motion? And that would be July 1st meeting, correct?
Okay, correct.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair will vote aye as well, but I would like for us to get to the bottom of that. And I tend to agree that I know you guys spend a lot of time, but between the clerk's office and our attorney's office, we do spend a lot of time on these. So thank you.
Thank you.
Our next order of business is a request for additional employees for Gold Medal Roofing. Is requesting additional employees for their canvassing peddler license. I don't know if they're represented, but I would ask the same questions of how many you have right now and how many you're requesting. So
Maybe you can present your name and who you're with.
please, yes, absolutely. Sorry.
My name's Zach Caniff. I'm the owner of Gold Medal Roofing for Indiana. And when we originally applied for our vendor's license, I was under the impression that we could always add people to it. So I didn't put any on our original application. So what we actually submitted was, I believe it's 7. I think it was 8, but I lost one of those guys. So there should have been actually 7 of the driver's license and all the documents that you guys did need. But on the original one, it was just me. So I don't know if that's the answer that you're looking for, but
No, you answered it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
so we were just looking for additional help. We have actually been helping since we've been here. The first day that we got our vendor's license and we actually went out to help the community. I'll just use that as an example because we're very good at what we do in assessing damage. And one of your local companies had actually put the roof on for a lady, and this was only the last year. So it's a 1-year-old roof, and she actually had that same company come out after her BMW was totaled next to it, and they said there was no damage. We got up there and we actually found that it was completely totaled and they completely missed everything. So we are here to actually help your community through finding what is needed. We don't like wasting people's time, soliciting everything else. And we do actually have a university that we send all of our sales guys to where they can assess the damage correctly to where they're not wasting anybody's time.
Any comments from the board?
So how many total canvassers will you have then?
So with myself, it would be 8 total. And they're not all gonna be here all at the same time. So I want you to take in that account, like, it's only gonna be a couple here and there. It's not every day you're gonna have 8 of our guys here trying to knock your doors. It's here and there. They've got their own areas too, but it's, you know, we try to work off referrals too, to where we have another person. Well, if there's another door next to them, and at least having the license that says that, hey, we can check on you since we're here working with your neighbor anyways. That's just all that we're asking of you guys.
I have a question regarding permits to general information, sorry. So you do apply for city permits to do the work.
Correct. Yep. We have our whole team and they look to see if you guys need dumpster permits, actually the roofing permits or anything that is needed through the whole process.
Not only permitting, they have to be registered.
Registered and permitted, yep. Like, yeah, well, registration, like, yeah.
Different than what this is, not, this is just for solicitation, but registration to do business here.
So they would work for me, but it would be under our, like, we would take care of all the permitting and stuff that we would actually need to would be through me. So they're just out here to help and find the next homeowner that actually has damage that needs the help. And a lot of people, just like Romans, what they're saying, a lot of people don't even know that they have hail damage, probably almost all of the business that we've got, because you can't see it from the ground. And it really takes somebody that's looking at them daily. And we've been on hundreds of roofs with insurance and, we've gotten about 5 or 6 bought just this week alone through some of the really hard insurance companies because we know what we're doing. And that's all we're looking at is for the opportunity to help your guys out here actually get what they deserve, which is if they have hail damage, whether it be siding or, their windows or roofs or anything, that they get taken care of.
Any other questions of Mr. Kenneth? Questions? I'm going to open it up for public comment now. Any public comment on this topic?
Hi, Scott Nolan, Turner Kenwood. My question is, do they need everybody on their crew doesn't need a solicitation license, just people knocking on doors? Would that
Yes,
be
you're correct. You're correct.
So I can't imagine you send your whole roofing crew going down the block, but I was just curious about that. I know, and as we formulate these ideas down the road, a graduated license, 0 to 5, 5 to 10 kind of a deal for that pricing structure would probably be warranted. But that's a question for another day. Thank you.
Yeah, Tommy Kolavic, 1316 Ohio Street. I want to strongly encourage the council to reestablish this fee schedule. I don't know when this was established, maybe back in the 70s, like when, or the 80s, maybe $250 or adding $10 for each additional solicitor was a lot of money back then. Well, things have gone up now. The world has really evolved ever since we were designated as an all-America city back in 1965. So, we need to get with the times and, kind of up the ante a little bit. Thank you.
Any other public comment? I'll acknowledge the one online. Give me 1 second. Angelo, give me 1 second, okay? Go ahead.
I'm Matt Overholzer from Gold Medal Roofing. Also too, I just wanted to put into place the soliciting thing. So it's offering services for a form of payment. I asked for no payment. My inspections are completely free, and it's more just making sure that everybody is knowing what's going on above them. Hail takes a long time to create a leak, and by that time, people are left on their own. I wouldn't expect anybody to feel threatened by my presence. I'm a friendly guy there just to have a conversation and make sure that you've already been taken care of. Here again, no solicitation. I mean, it's completely free, my services. So that's just the way that I personally look at it. and I offer it. Nobody has to answer the door. It just, for me, helps me sleep at night. Thank you.
Thank you. Angelo.
Hi again. And I apologize if you hear my children. But in regards to what one of the homeowners said is, I wouldn't actually have any issue if the fee was raised. I think we understand that it's to benefit the community and things like that. I don't want to say it's a price for the privilege, but again, we also understand that. And to piggyback with the gentleman from Gold's, he was one of the ones that came in, and I think he kind of did the same thing in some regards as what I was doing, is trying to not overhaul it, but make sure that anyone that was out there that would have those credentials. And if you guys are able to, and look, and if maybe you don't have to table it till the beginning of the month, is I haven't had those guys out there, and it is slower for my business in regards to, because we are able to help so many people. This week alone, I think we're doing 10 or 12 builds in Michigan City from this recent event. And again, to go off of what Mr. Gold said, it's a service that you don't have to accept, and we don't want to waste anyone's time. The homeowners, the insurance companies, our guys, anyone's, if it's something that we can't do, it's not advantageous for us to do it. And everyone on my team is well aware of that. And I spoke to him, and I believe one of his partners that was there at the last meeting, and they, seemed like stand-up guys, and, they were in the area because a family member actually was hit with that storm. And, I know from a city standpoint, last time I talked, we had some of the city members that were on the police and fire department that were working with us that were actually approved, and they're being built here soon. But to add on that is we just have such a great thing going right now with the community and with you guys, and we'd hate to see it, go wayside, in a sense.
Okay. Thank you for your comment. Mr. Kenneth, I've got a question. I hope I say your name right, Kenneth.
Kenneth, yeah.
Kenneth, so you're the only one that can canvas right now?
Correct.
Okay, so there isn't, I thought I misunderstood. There were 7 earlier, but no, you're the only one who signed yourself up to canvas right now.
Correct. Because when we understood the application when we were submitting it, that I was under this understanding, and I talked with Izzy, and she wasn't completely clear on the whole process. So it was my understanding too that I could add them, and I didn't have to come back here and apply to have them added.
Okay.
So that's all I'm looking to do. Is I'm not looking at it anybody else. So that's all I'm looking at. I've got some of our team that actually is Southwest Michigan branch. So it's another sister branch of ours. We've got 12 branches in our company. They're just up the road too. So they were just looking to help you guys as well. But they're all going to be under our license, and we're just looking to basically just get those hands. So that's all we're looking for.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for the clarification. I'll close public comment right now. Any other further questions from the board? Any thoughts from the board?
I would just say, I think this is an example of something that we should approve, because he does not have canvassers out there just yet, as opposed to Romans, who, although we tabled his request, he still can't do business because he does have canvassers out there. I would just say that we should support this one.
Yes, I thank you for clarifying that, because I was feeling.
That's why I asked the question.
But even with
Yeah.
the amount of people he has on right now, he's still under the number of the one we previously tabled. So I'm feeling the same way.
What is the pleasure of the board? Do we have I know feel like we're splitting hair here, but
I'm trying to be
no, you're fine. You're fine. No. That's not you.
With
That's
everyone
why
in the branch, I'm like mostly that way. So I don't have any guys really out here.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Working in New Buffalo or down south or anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that's all I was just looking
I got it. That's why I asked the question I asked. I was confused, so clarifying that helped us, I think, understand where we're at. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Can I abstain?
Sure. It's your call. Chair votes aye as well.
Thank you.
Okay, our next order of business is a contract between City of Michigan City and Farmed and Foraged for 2025 and 2026 farmers market, and the total amount of $30,000. Miss Crickon will be representing. Absolutely. Good afternoon, Mandy.
I know, you got to. Hi, how is everyone doing? So I am.
Tell us your name and where you reside and all that good stuff.
I am Mandy Crickon. I am living in Westville and I am owner, founder, CEO of The Collective. So The Collective was founded in 2019 as a community to connect and support entrepreneurs in our area. Through that, we have started doing large public events. All of our public events also give back to the community and support small businesses. Last year, we were approached by the city of LaPorte to take over their farmers market, which went exponentially well. We were able to implement a SNAP program that not only EBT users can use their SNAP benefits, but we are also able to triple them up. So this has been huge for food access in LaPorte. We have seen an increase from last year to this year. A huge increase. We've just had our 4th market and we have already issued as much SNAP as we did last year. So this is really wonderful. We work really hard to work synergistically with the small businesses in the area, the city. We were also approached this year to take over the New Buffalo Farmers Market. So we are in the process of growing that, but we have already increased their vendors and foot traffic as well. So we are really excited with the opportunity to do this in Michigan City next year.
Excellent. Hopefully with you guys coming on board, I know you guys have deep roots and you have a lot of members. Will that increase the vendors potentially at our market?
Well, we have a really good network. So our members and our events are a little bit separate. So there's actually 2 different businesses. So the Collective Group is what we have our membership under. So it's kind of like a grassroots chamber of commerce where we offer networking events and different workshops for our members. Then at the beginning of this year, I split off our public events and started a nonprofit. So we are a 501c3 organization for the Collective events, and that is what that would be run under. So we do get, our members are very supportive of us as we are to them, but we've been doing large markets since 2019. So we have a very wide network of vendors that we work with.
Excellent. Any questions of Ms. Crickon from the board? Any questions? I'll open up for public comment.
Oh yeah, Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. I'd like to see the farmers market expanded, maybe just more than one day a week. I remember years ago, I'm not native Michigan City. I grew up over in Portage. At Route 6 and 51, kind of Hobart Lake Station. For years they had Jansen's Food Market, open air market. You go a lot of foreign countries. That's how it is, open air farm markets. Obviously we're going to have to relocate the farmers market. That's going to be Ready 2.0 apartments in the future of that site. I'd like to see it either move to over on the east side where we obviously have no grocery stores or food, or especially on the west side. Let's make no, but that's probably the most underserved section of any city in Northwest Indiana that we have. So I'd like to just say that we really need to get out and support, whether it be on a Saturday here in Michigan City at 8th and Watt or at the Farm and Forage Market, and go out and support them. Our farmers nowadays, they have it really rough and struggle because they can barely make it from week to week. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Hearing none, I'll any other questions? Ms. Crickon from the board? Alrighty, I'll call for a vote. I'll call for a motion. Do you hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
For a second?
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you. Next order of business is a social marketing partnership agreement with Great News Life from June 2024 through December of 2026 in an amount not to exceed $24,940.00. Is someone here from social marketing, Great News Life? Ms. LePage, have you reviewed this contract?
I have, this is still another part of the ARPA funding for marketing that the council recently approved. The amount will be for not to exceed $24,940. So we're going to break it down for 3 yearly payments. In 2024, it'll be about $4,800. In 2025, $9,600, and again in 2026, $9,600. So we're getting a lot of service over the next 2.5 years.
Sounds like a good deal for the amount. Any questions of the board?
Motion to approve.
Hold on, I gotta open up for public.
Oh.
I know you want, I know. I'll open up for public comment. And hear any public comment? Okay, I'll close public comment. Okay, Gene, go, you're up.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Your motion in a second. Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Our next order of business is a claims docket for June 17th, 2024. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve in a second. I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. We did have a correspondence. The Michigan City Common Council passed ordinance 4733 to establish general rules for all city boards, commissions, and committees. Is there anything else I need to say about that?
No, I had asked all of the city boards and commissions just to put it on their agenda to make sure they were aware of it, sign their appropriate conflict of interest.
Absolutely. My next piece is updates from Flaherty and Collins. I do not see Mr. Dave Albers out here. I don't think he was able to attend today. I will tell you that you will see another crane going in. They're building the bases of that crane starting today, actually. And then you'll see another 200-foot crane go in. It will be a tower crane.
Claims removed.
We should approve them. Yep. So we have another crane coming in. Will not replace the crane that is on site, but it will be an additional crane. The parking structure is going in. You may have seen that being constructed. They're still moving pieces through the city. So we'll be doing that for another few months. And sounds like everything is going well. Other than that, I do not have any other updates from Flaherty and Collins. Do we have special events updates? I don't see Parks and Rec here today. So move on to unfinished business. We have unfinished business. We have a road surface repair. Erica Murray at 3213 Springland Ave is requesting to have the pitched road fixed in front of her home due to groundwater getting too high and not being able to drain into the storm basin. This was tabled from our June 3rd meeting to this meeting. I have spoke with our city engineer, but I'm going to have him give just a quick update on this.
This location was part of the Tall Timbers development back in the early 70s. It looks like after I went out and looked, there's only a few inlets for the whole length of that straight section of roadway of Springland Avenue. It looks like over time, the roadway has settled off and on. So it used to be maybe a contiguous drain. Now it's kind of up and down and leaving some water. So I'm going to have to get some survey done and take a look and see what we can do, but it's probably going to require a section of roadway reconstruction to try to get the drainage back to being positive. So I would say, give me a couple of months to look into this. This isn't going to be a quick fix, so I was hoping.
So we'll keep this on our pending items list. Do we need a motion to table it to move it forward to another couple months?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's motion to
Put it as a specific date.
Want to move this to our first meeting in August? Would that be appropriate? August 5th? That would be, I would ask that we table this. Do I hear a motion to table this to our August 5th meeting? That's the motion. Do we hear it?
Motion to table to the August 5th meeting.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Let's see, stay right there, Tim.
Yeah.
Traffic control, Eileen Westerkamp, 3017 Moore Road is requesting a stop sign or other ways to reduce speeding vehicles and large semis down Moore Road. This was tabled from our June 3rd meeting. I did hear from Corporal Wright on this one, and he wanted to put the radar trailer at, I believe, Notre Dame.
Right by Notre Dame.
Right by Notre Dame. I'm not sure where, but he did mention that.
It'd be at the north end towards the end of the sidewalk, and north end of their property, I think.
Okay.
From that point northward, there's really a lot of grade change off the edge of pavement up and down. It'd be really hard to continue a sidewalk there. One of the things that Eileen mentioned was that, pedestrians on the roadway. Well, there's no way to try to control that. So I think the best thing is to have that radar trailer there to show people that they are speeding. And as far as the trucks, we can't take the trucks up Moore Road. That's the access for any moving vehicle trucks and things to get deliveries back and forth into the community. So
Yeah, it's kind of one of the only ones up there.
Yep.
Okay. Do we want to? So, do we want to take this? Do we want to make a motion to put the radar? Do we want to put the? We need a motion to put the radar out there. Get it off our pending list.
Do you want it off your pending list, or do you want police to come back after it's given the radar?
That's a good point. I'll look to Mr.
Well,
Simmons. You
was
have
it-
some experience with it.
Was there a time line with the radar?
I did not get a timeline.
yeah,
Said he'd be back, I think, in the next week or so to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the meantime, as I stated earlier, the district unit need to be paying more attention to that corridor and working with Long Beach. More citations, the less speeders you will have out there.
Yeah, Miss Smith just reminded me in that email that he said he was going to step up the patrols in that neighborhood, and then the other option was, or I think, in addition to the radar being installed in there. So let's table this. You think in June, our first, will we table this to the first meeting in August as well, or is that too late? Okay, I'm looking. I know you have a lot more experience with this thing than I do. Second meeting in July or first meeting? So that'd be July 1st. Do I hear a motion to table to keep this on our pending list and move it to our July 1st meeting?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Our next piece on here is Thelma request for a traffic sign. I know that this was coming out of our Tilden Ave. We had a water main or a sewer main there that needed to be separated, so we had to close down the street completely.
sewer work and Reith Riley's milling and work on Tilden at the same time. So I think that was really the issue, and both of those projects are complete.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything back from this, but I would venture to say that the reason why people were going down Cole was because they thinking that it went through and it did not. Going down Tilden, and Tilden's a pretty traveled road with respect to getting to Cleveland. Is there a pleasure of the board to, we can put a sign there. It's probably, it may not deter people from going down that road. But I'll leave it up to the board. I would say that we do not put a sign there, but that's up to the board.
Okay.
Any thoughts, comments?
I don't see a reason for a sign.
Okay. Any other comments?
I agree, Ben, that he's alluding that is mainly because of
Road
the
closure.
construction. It's done.
Yeah, it's done now. And then it's paved now as well. If I'm not mistaken, it's striped.
Yeah, we've got a little restoration from that sewer, those 3 sewer laterals that Woodruff and Sons did yet. I saw a barrel out there just before I came, but that's it. Sidewalks are complete. Paving's done, everything's done. They just need to clean up behind the sidewalk where the lateral work was done.
Excellent. I'm so sorry.
I'll say I make a motion, we deny this request and remove it from the pending item list.
Okay.
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore,
Aye.
chair votes aye as well. We have a street enhancement. Paul A. Prespolinski for 1716 Washington Street is requesting to have the road fixed at Washington Street and 11th Street from the double track heading north. This was tabled on November 6, 2023. This is my understanding is this is in the works. We've been in communication with Nick D, but you can please fill in any
Yeah,
blanks.
this was on one of the early punch list items that were generated last year even. So, yeah, it's on the list with Nick T to fix. They have done some of the work for the punch list, but not all of it. They sent us a letter a couple of weeks back that they indicated they were complete with the work, and we responded that no, they're not complete with the work. So we're at that point right now where we know they have a lot of things to do. They don't know what a lot of things they have to do, but we're in discussions with them to move forward with them finishing the punch list items.
Okay, so would we want to move this to our meeting in August and there's quite a few people.
I would recommend this being removed from the list because it's already on the punch list to be taken care of as we work with Nick D, as with many other things. So,
Okay. There's your recommendation from our city engineer. Any other questions of the city engineer? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to remove it from the punch list.
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Mr. Warner. Let's see here. Traffic control. Councilman Tim Beatry, 3211 Cleveland Ave is requesting to revise the stop signs at the following intersections. This was tabled from April 15th, 2024. We did make a motion 2 meetings ago to move these. Tell us what we are doing. And then
basically what's happening is we have marked the intersection of Cleveland and Cool Spring with signage giving advance warning that stop signs will be placed at Cleveland on Cool Spring for each direction, east and west. And part of that is the removal of the sign at Tilden. I'm a little bit concerned with removing stop signs on Cool Spring at Tilden, but we'll see. It's kind of Brian Wright and Sean Smith for the street department and I are kind of going to keep an eye on it. But I think the signs go up July 1st.
July 1st. That's what I wanted. I really wanted to get out. Mr. Smith was very adamant that I make that announcement.
Okay.
So July 1st, Cleveland Ave and Cool Spring, Tilden Ave and Cool Spring, you will have a different stop sign pattern there. So that's my announcement to the general public. Do we need to take this off of the
It
pending?
could be off the list, yeah.
Absolutely, excellent. Do I hear a motion to remove?
Motion to remove?
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Street enhancement. Daniel Radke, 508 East 2nd Street is requesting to install a curb gutter and possibly a sidewalk to the east side of Taylor Street at 216 Taylor Street, tabled from November 6, 2023. And I do believe you have a small update for us.
Yeah, the Michigan City Sanitary District had looked at this probably right after this November meeting, and there was a discussion of putting a curb in, talking with Steve Stanford with the Sanitary District. They're looking at possibilities of how to control that. And I haven't been able to follow up with them on this one, but I know they are looking at trying to direct the water all the way to the south past his building, which is south of 2nd Street, where the old bridge was, south of Bridges. So this is something that I know the Sanitary District is looking at. I will try to respond back at the next board meeting. So if we just move this to the July 1st meeting, I can hopefully have a final answer on what their solution is then.
Fair enough. Do I hear a motion to move this, to table this till our July 1st meeting for a report back?
So moved.
For a second?
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Sidewalk enhancement. Bob Kaiser, 3718 Dorchester Drive, is requesting to repair the sidewalk on the south side of Franklin Street and 8th Street. This was tabled from our November 6, 2023 meeting, and I'll let you give the update for it.
I have I think it was probably at the last redevelopment commission meeting.
Correct.
The change order request on our current sidewalk to replace the sidewalk from the alley driveway entrance of the St. Paul's School east or west to Franklin Street was approved at the price that they provided, 30,000, I think, for the total. It's a little over maybe. And I think they just got that notice for last week. So I talked with Scott Connolly with LaPorte County Project Management, and they'll be starting to work on that this week. If it's not too hot.
It's going to be really hot.
Yeah.
So, do I hear, so what I'm thinking is we should remove this because it's going to get done.
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to remove this from our table list?
Motion to remove.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Great. Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Hi.
Chair votes aye as well. It's good news. I like getting these off our list. Request to submit work request. Okay. Councilman Don Prespolinski is requesting to submit a work request to CSX Railroad Crossings for repairs at Woodland, Risky, Carroll, and Greenwood Ave. This was tabled from our April 17th, 2023 meeting. Now, I'll let you, I think you have some good news for
all of those crossings have been completely rebuilt by CSX and reopened.
Excellent. Excellent news. Do I hear a motion to remove from the list?
Motion to remove, sorry.
That's okay.
Report.
Excellent. Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Our next order of business is a hearing on approval of emergency fees. Christine Vandenberg, Code Enforcement Officer, is requesting approval of emergency fees incurred under the Unsafe Building Act in the matter of a unsafe building structure located at 611 Benton Street. This was tabled from our May 20th, 2024 meeting. At this time, I'm going to hand the meeting over to Mr. Attorney Beal and Miss Attorney Amber LePage to run the hearing for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone present for 611 Benton Street? Hearing none, it looks like Christine, you're just going to present what you have. Attorney Bill, if you make just kind of set the record here about who you gave notice to.
Good evening, board. This is in regards to emergency costs that were incurred by the city planning department at 611 Benton Street on February 19th of 2024. On that date, this property was owned, I believe is still owned by Infinite Batteries, Inc.
A little closer to my.
Oh, sorry.
Just scooch a little bit.
So on February 19th, 2024, this property was owned by Infinite Batteries Incorporated. They purchased the property at a tax sale and took a tax deed to the property on or about February 14th of 2024. Notice of today's hearing was given to the registered agent that's listed with the Secretary of State for the state of Indiana. That was done by certified mail on May 26th of 2024. Additionally, notice was provided on April 24th of 2024 to Infinite Batteries attorney of record, who's listed on their tax records as well. So they've been provided notice of today's hearing. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Vanderpoort.
Okay.
Hi there.
Vanderberg, if you'd like to just present the evidence to the board.
Christine Vandenberg, City of Michigan City Code Enforcement. 611 Benton Street had been notified in the past about, actually starting May 23rd, 2023, in regards to code violations, condition of windows, exterior doors, stairways, porches, accumulation of refuse and other materials. After several notifications and complaints from neighboring houses, we ordered for First Response Corporation to come out and board up the property. And that was in the beginning of February of 2024. I had provided an invoice, and I have a copy of an invoice for that board up. And basically that's what we're seeking is reimbursement for the service done by First Response in order to make the building safe and have children stay out of it and, prevent people from burning the house down.
Ms. Vanderborg, at the time you took this action on February 19th, did you believe it necessary to prevent or to protect it, that it was immediate danger to the society?
It was
Okay. Were you receiving complaints from neighbors?
several complaints.
Okay, basically this house was open to anybody who wanted to enter it, correct?
Correct.
All right, so there was at least 7 windows that needed to be boarded up as well as the front door.
Correct.
And as first response, are they a contractor you normally call?
They are.
Okay. And again, the fees incurred were $1,081.49.
That's correct.
And you're just asking the board to approve those, that they were a necessary action on behalf of the planning department?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Does the board have any questions of Ms. Vanderberg? If none, any other evidence?
No other
Okay. So at this time, the board is rendered with the ability to either affirm her cost in the amount, I believe it was $1,081.49. Affirm those costs, reduce those costs, or deny those costs. If the board does affirm, then what we'll do is pursue those costs, including but not limited to leaning against the property.
Make a motion to affirm those costs.
Support.
Hearing a motion in a second, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Ms. Vanderberg.
Thank you.
Our next order of business is public comment. At this time, do I hear any public comment? Tommy, you're the only one left.
Yeah, Tommy Kolavic, 1316 Ohio Street. I just want to send my condolences out to the town of La Crosse. They lost a firefighter, Kenneth Caldwell, 5 days ago. His funeral is going to be, I think, tomorrow. He's 63 years old. He just came in from fighting a brush fire, so it's being classified as a loss of life in the line of duty. Thank you, and God bless.
Yeah, for anyone out there, that's why our flags are at half mast today, via the governor's order for Mr. Caldwell. Any other public comment? Absolutely. Come down here and name, address. Tell us what you got.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Montano, 201 May Avenue in Michigan City. I'm here representing Tar Roofing. I had everything submitted Tuesday of last week for the solicitor's license. However, I didn't see us on the agenda. But we are applying just to have 2 canvassers, and I am a resident of Michigan City. And, we're just trying to get our guys to be able to solicit in the areas where we are doing work. So far this season, I've got, from the last storm, about 45 people signed up. Most of those family, friends, or a friend of a friend. So I'm just trying to continue that type of business going forward. And, I really don't want to hassle anybody by knocking on the door nonstop. But we are just offering free inspections, whether that turns into future business or not. So I just wanted our presence here to be noted.
What time on Tuesday did you submit it?
I came here to see the notary, I think about 3 o'clock, so I think it was after that.
So it'll appear on the next Board of Works agenda. You missed
Okay.
the time cutoff to get on this one. It was
Okay.
at noon.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. All right, that's all I had to say.
So you may want to be at the next one.
Yeah.
Sorry you wasted 2
Yeah.
hours of your life.
I was on race.
Well,
Thanks, Paul.
then, additionally, Kim emailed the board at 4:15 to let us know that this would be on the next agenda.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So come make sure you're here at the next meeting. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other public comment? Anything online? I see yes, Mr. Euler or Mr. Euler.
Good evening, Dakota Euler, 718 Emma Street. I wanted to take a moment to speak of an item that was on your agenda this evening, having Sarah Group work on the website for Michigan City. I've known Sarah Group for some time. Sarah Group's commitment to the Michigan City community is very depth. Some of the highlights, their well-rounded approach to giving back, which includes supporting local businesses, volunteer work and initiatives, membership in the chambers of commerce, mentoring students and participating in career fairs. Their involvement shows a clear dedication to not only the economic well-being of the community, but also the future generations who will live and work here. The fact that Seth Spencer, the founder of Sarah Group, is recognized as a Michiana 40 under 40 further emphasizes his leadership and dedication to the community. It's clear that giving back is a core value at Sarah Group. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Euler, for your comments. Any other public comments online? Okay, hearing none, I'll close public comments. Any board comments? I know we've been here for a minute. All right, I'll close board comments. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Don't everybody jump at once. All right, hear a motion. Do I hear a second?
Support.
All right, motion carries. Thank you.